Sup thinkers? Spaceballer here with yet another video for you guys, and today it will be a special one. We are in T58 Heavy today, season reward tank, and today we're gonna beat our damage record. We're gonna shatter our direct damage record. So spoilers, I have been hanging around 10k damage mark for a while now. Quite a long time. I've had games around 9.5, 9.8, 9.1, anywhere in the 9,000 range. I had a few games in the past in my medium tanks like Centurion Action X, T110E4, in my T57 Heavy, but I never gotten past the 10k mark. And in the game today, we're actually gonna do that. We're gonna get over 10k raw damage. But what makes a high damage game? Have you ever asked yourself that question? What makes a high damage game? There's got to be a perfect storm, perfect set of circumstances coming together in order for you to get that damage. So first of all, the teams must be balanced. So one team cannot die within 5 minutes, or there cannot be a steamroll. You must get to the point where you're dealing damage at the beginning of the game, throughout the game, and at the end of the game. That's the only way you can get yourself in a high damage game. Plus, also, you need proper set of circumstances as far as your lineups go. What tanks are in the game? Like, what kind of matchmaking are you getting? So in this situation, that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna get a perfect matchmaking, only 3 tier 10s per side. No real big guns either. So I'll be mostly dealing damage against tier 9s and tier 8s, which made it all possible. But yet you still have to play it right, because in many cases you end up in top tier game, you're rubbing your hands and you're like, man, I'm gonna have an incredible game, but in many cases it doesn't go that way because your team just sucks. So in this game, I actually managed to have decent teammates, and team on the other side was decent enough, so this game could be long enough for me to get my damage. Anyway, so I froze it here so that you guys can take a look at the team lineups, just to show you what is the composition of each team. But now we're gonna focus on the game. So we're on map Swamp. There are 2 RDs in play, so we have to be mindful of that. And we are spawned on the southeast side of the map. So in this situation, normally what I would do, I would get myself in position J2, somewhere over there, where you can actually snipe across the field. But then in a second, I'm gonna realize that most of my team is actually gonna head down in that direction. So I'm gonna decide to go in the middle and snipe. And you would say, well, space in a heavy tank sniping. To be honest, if you want to get a high damage game, you gotta do a fair bit of sniping, so that you don't trade your HP early in the game, but you are putting yourself in a position where you can deal damage. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Since no one, absolutely no one from my team decided to go in the middle, someone's gotta be in this position. Usually it's a TD spot. TDs sit in this location. But I kind of like playing T58 a bit like a TD early in the game because of very high alpha, 700 alpha on this thing. Plus you have this clip potential of 3 shells. Interclip is not very good. It's about, what, 7 to 8 seconds, something like that. But dealing 700 damage every 7 or 8 seconds, that's still phenomenal. So we have our first customer, which is this ISM. We put 1 shell into him. And take a look at that. He's gonna just get annihilated here. 2 shells and he's gone. His game was cut short because of the big gun of T58. Currently I'm unspotted, so we're just gonna sit around here, wait for our next customer to show up or become spotted. We still have 1 more shell in the chamber, so we don't want to get rid of it yet because the reload on this tank is not the greatest. I can't remember what it is right now. We'll check it later on, but we're looking for a shot here. So we're holding this 700 alpha shell still in here, waiting for the opportunity. And we got one. M103 shows his turret, so we put that shell into the side of his turret for 749. And now we can drop back here and reload. Now we realize that the opposition is pushing northeast side of the map. And there's a lot of them there. So I'm kind of putting myself in position here to shoot them as soon as they kill our friendlies and spill over to our side of the map. First, let's take a look at our reload. 28 seconds. That was with combat Russians engaged. So, yeah, it's pretty slow reload. Anyway, we see this Mauerbrecher, and he doesn't know what's gonna hit him here. Like, 2 shells and pretty much drain him down in health. And we're gonna put 1 more in him right here to take him out of the game. Just like that, this tank is a devastator, especially for tier 8s. For tier 8s is bad news bears, man. This tank, it just, when it shows up, you better run, to be honest. So anyway, it looks like we lost the other side. We decided to drop here. We still have STRV Sturv with us, tier 9. So what we want to do is get behind this ridgeline here to cover our base and to have shots into any of these guys that are kind of overexposing to this side of the map. We have a beautiful shot on a light tank right here. Oh my goodness. It missed. Just barely missed. I think I fired that shot slightly bit too late. That would have put me, actually if I hit that shot, would have put me probably over 11k damage in this game. But now I'm a bit worried because, you know, that light tank seems like he's playing it smart. And in a split second we're gonna have the Reds spilling over this side of the map. So I'm worried about numbers, to be honest. I do have enough HP to deal with them. It's just that long reload, so I have to be able to find spots somewhere where I can reload after I fire my shells. So this Bellerophon is driving right through the middle there, so we put a shell into him, we set him on fire. He gets finished by STRV. Something puts a shell into me, but I'm not paying attention. I really want to take that light tank out. But then I decided not to risk that shot. I don't know why. I probably should have taken that shot anyway. It was my last shell, so I would have gone on a reload after dropping behind the ridgeline. That was a mistake on my part, but it doesn't matter. We did lose HP. There's a TD at G7 that has super camo that I couldn't spot. This one, CC1K, Italian TD, I think. So he puts a couple of shells into me. So I have to be careful, mindful that he's there. So now, what I wanted to do is I wanted to put crossfire into the light tank, but then all of a sudden this K91-2 gets spotted. So I have to clear my back lines. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna engage this K91. We're gonna put a couple of shells into him, and look at his hit points. I should be able to double tap him right here. That is the problem for tier 8s dealing with this tank. It's super OP for tier 8s, to be honest. So we put 2 shells into him, and we still have 1 shell in a chamber. His platoon mate is gonna now try to go around me and put shells into me, and I knew I was in trouble over here because I had 1 shell left, that's it. But for whatever reason, this guy decided not to round me. Guys, in this situation, you gotta count shells. You gotta know how many shells the autoloader has and whether it fired all of them or not. At least talk in the platoon and tell each other, well, that guy fired 2 shells, he's got only 1 more in the chamber, so that way your platoon mate can engage, and he should have finished me off, to be honest. Just because he didn't, I'm gonna finish him off. And that's the way it goes. Now the light tank is coming in. Again, light tank is a little bit late to the party. He should have showed up a little bit earlier because I had a chance to reload, and now we aim this shot and we take him out of the game. So we pretty much demolish and clean up this side of the map. We stopped the opposition's push. We're dealing mostly with tier 8s, but still needed to aim and penetrate those shots. That TD is still somewhere lurking in the back, and that's what I'm worried about here. Where is that TD? I only have 1 shell left in my chamber, and there's no way I could clip him out because he should be still full health at the moment. What we're gonna do is we're gonna climb up this ridgeline here to see if he is lurking somewhere in the back. First, if I get spotted. Second, if I spot him. I spot nothing. I don't get spotted, so I decided to go on a reload right here. So what's the next step? Well, first of all, I want to make sure I reload, so I'm going to stay low. I'm not going to overexpose over the ridgeline, but I'm going to start repositioning. First thing I was thinking is that the TD is going to go towards our base. That's why I thought if I come here, maybe I'll be able to spot him. I can't spot him anywhere over here. So he must have went through the middle back to the north side of the map. And looks like he did because he just took out our Chrysler K. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back in the middle of the map. Maybe we can catch him somewhere in the middle. There's no way we can make it towards our heavy tank at B8. I don't know what that is, Defender or something. But he's dealing with Progetto right now. And there's no way he can win that fight. 210 Progetto will take him out any day. And that's what happens. Now, there's one very important thing I want to point out. Take a look at the map. I'm going to slow it down for you. And this is what good players do. Look at the direction that Progetto is going towards. in this situation, you have to follow the map 100%. You gotta get an idea of what that Progetto's thinking in order to figure out what your next step is. And based on his last marker on the map, it looks like he's going towards the northwest side of the map. And that gives me a clue that I need to move towards the central area of the map, but also cover my back line, going JK line, then 1-2 line, maybe to catch him off guard. If I can isolate one of those tanks 1v1 right now, I'll be able to win this game. But if I cannot, it will be trouble. Okay, let's roll it from here. So we'll continue. Now let's review this situation. So we're dealing with 2 tanks right now. Progetto, who has a clip of 4, he can easily take us out of the game in no time. We're also dealing with the TD that is likely full health that can outspot us, which is a problem. I'll likely need 3 shells for him as well. So what I need to do is catch them separately and kill them. At the same time, I'm kind of rolling through the middle here. I wanted to spot the middle to see if there's anyone that could potentially creep on my behind if I go behind this rock here into position G4. That's the idea. So I want to catch this Progetto coming towards me. That's exactly what I'm doing. But I want to have some cover in between myself and him so that I can potentially still pull behind the cover and either bounce a shot or don't give him a chance to shoot at me. So we're going to be very cautious here. We should be covering all of our ground right here. And are we able to spot him in this position? So I poked out here. He doesn't know where we are at all. So we're able to put 1 shell into him. And now we're going to hide because our inner clip is slow. Now he decided not to rush us. Instead, he decided to run away from us. At this point, I have to push him. I know there's a risk of getting hit by a TD, but I really need to take him out of the game. This is an important step right here. I need to guarantee this kill to be able to win the game. And I do put a shell into his behind. Just barely. We had a very narrow shot there and we were able to put the shell in. And now we're going to hide behind a rock because we do not know where the TD is. And now opposition's TD is going to make a huge mistake. He should have never done this. He should have never went on the cap because he tells me where he is. He should have known by now that his camo is better than mine, that he should be able to post somewhere on the map and outspot me. So that should be his game plan. I'm not sure what he was thinking here. Possible that he was thinking about drawing me towards the cap. Maybe he thought that was a great idea so he can take me out of the game. He probably doesn't know what my HP is, so maybe that's what was in his head. I cannot tell. But it's definitely a mistake that he's making right now. Because I will have enough time to get back to the cap. At the same time, I decided to reload my heat rounds. Simply because I'm currently sitting on 9.4k damage. So I want to guarantee I get over that 10k mark. That was the idea here. So I don't really care what resources I use in order to do that. So we use this building as cover. Now we're going to try to get closer to the cap. We get spotted, but we also spot him. And notice how I stopped my tank just before the little fence in front of me. He's firing heat shells, so he tries to hit the lower plate, but he hits the fence. So we even avoid that first shell. Now we should be able to finish him off. And we do, securing the win for the team. And look at my damage standing at the moment. Obviously, it's a victory. We managed to carry this hard 1v2 situation, and we finally got over 10,000 damage. 10,566 damage. We also finished with 7 kills, which will give us a Devastator medal, Top Gun medal. Just a great game in this tank, fantastic, but for whatever reason it seemed easy to me. I don't know what it was it the circumstances, was it the fact that I was dealing mostly with tier 8s? But again, fantastic game, finished with Mastery, Ace Tanker, Devastator, Top Gun, Sniper medal, High Caliber, as well as Defender medal. Yeah, just a great game, and yeah, I yet reach another milestone. That's what you do in this game, guys. You try to get better and better and better until milestones such as this one, where we were able to finally break the 10k barrier. Finish with over 10,000 direct damage. We had some assisted damage, but we're mostly damage dealer in this game, to be honest. At the end of the day, we finished with 17 shots fired, 16 penetrations, and 11 critical hits. What a game, what a game, what a game. I hope there'll be more of these to come so I can share them with you guys. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this video. That's it for now. Until next time, happy tanking, Space Bandit, checking out.